It's time for another episode of Walking and Talking with the Ramen Raider, the show where I walk and I talk with interesting people. This is the new, there's the regular one. This is Mimi, my daughter. She's interesting. She is not the interesting person we're talking to in this episode, however. So, go have a seat. Go play. Go do your tablet. So today we are talking to the well-known author, Matthew Bellah. He has published a series of short stories. He also has an audio blog where he has a voice actor reading his works. And we'd like to welcome him to the show. Hello, Mr. Bellah. How are you today?
Hey, how's it going, Hans? Great to be here. Thank you for having me on the show.
You may address me as the. So, what? And don't laugh at my. Only laugh at my jokes. Don't laugh at your own. Got it? Got it. So, tell us about what you've been up to. Your book thing and all that.
Right. So, I'm currently working on a science fiction novel called Pax Humana. It's about the first contact between humans and a primitive alien species and what occurs after we colonize their planet. And I put together a collection. It's, as you said, I have voice artists narrating the work on my site, MatthewBellah.com. I started a podcast called Fictionalia to promote my work. It's the audio content from that site. There's also short stories in there. And then I put that collection together as an ebook on Amazon.
Excellent. So, we'll talk about this for a couple minutes and then we'll launch into some current events. But you sent me a clip of some of the audio content you have. Can you set that up for me? I mean,
sure,
let people
absolutely.
know what it is.
Yep, so this is the beginning of the chapter called A Millennium's Children. So we've discovered an intelligent alien civilization, but it's more primitive than us, so there's no way we can contact them remotely. We have to go there. We build a generation ship. We crew it with people who will grow old and die, and their children will take over the workstations. But the actual contact team is a team of 25 emissaries chosen from the ranks of academia and the military and diplomats from around the world. And these people go into a stasis, a hypersleep, or whatever you want to call it, and they have just been revived in orbit around the planet and are warning about the ship itself and the alien civilization. So this is just a little short teaser from that.
All right, here's some audio from Matt's content. Here you go.
The Aft Observation Cabin on the generation ship was small, designed only for the 25 emissaries. Every now and then, a petty officer would enter silently, deposit a tray of food or drink, and leave. But otherwise, they were left to themselves. They sat together, elbows on the table, sipping nutrient-rich fluids and exchanging the quiet words of a meaningless conversation. The overall mood was one of subdued shock, like the immediate aftermath of a car wreck. They had been asleep for 1,000 years. Kepler 18011c occupied a large portion of the monitor, which comprised the outside wall of the room. It was impossible not to look at it. Blue and white, green and brown. It was Earth. Only it wasn't.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for sharing that. Awesome. So, like I said, let's get on to some current events. How do you feel? I mean, are we going to get a trifecta? I mean, we got the fly on the lily white coiffure of the vice president, and we got the running liquid, the oil slick coming off of Rudolph Giuliani's head. What do you see happening next? Are we going to get a hairpiece?
Yeah, action? It has to be the hairpiece with Trump. That's his signature. That's the point of least resistance in anything going wrong with his bodily person, I think, is the hairpiece.
Yeah, it could happen.
On that. Yeah.
He just did a press conference today having to do with prescription drug prices, and I was just kind of musing about the fact that he hadn't really had an appearance in a week, other than Twitter, of course. But he sounded like he had been crying all morning, and then put himself together slightly, and then did this thing. So.
Yeah, I think we have heard enough hours and hundreds of hours of audio of the voice of Donald Trump that now we can detect these subtle nuances in his moods and dispositions, you know? I feel like I really know the guy. I mean, I don't like that I know him, but I do feel like I am intimately acquainted with his persona.
Do you feel that he's a kindred spirit?
No, not such. He's not someone I think I'd hang out with. If he was just a regular person and we met, like, at work or on the street, I think he would immediately rub me the wrong way, as the saying goes.
Hopefully there would be no rubbing going on in the first place.
Well, if I was a girl, he'd grab me the wrong way.
Yeah, that's very, very true. But a nod is as good as a wink to a blind
So here's what's going on. Here's the most dangerous thing in the world about the whole election thing to me is that we need to work together as a country to get anything done. That Congress needs to work together, and we can't do that when we're at each other's throats. Denying the validity of the election will ensure that for months and possibly forever afterwards, the Republicans will not admit that the election was valid. They won't see Joe Biden as a valid president, and they'll fight against every policy he tries to make that will be reflected in Congress, and we'll
go sit down! Go sit down! Gremlins. This is why we have a dual-part show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just tempting fate here.
They're adorable.
Thank you. Mimi, go sit down. You're causing confusion and delay.
And all of that division, of course, is coming from the petulant attitude of one man, Donald Trump.
Yeah. See, I think what I've been saying lately is that it seems like what's more dangerous than a nuclear weapon going off or being launched somewhere is the usage of misinformation and having that become an accepted fact of society. And
the erosion of,
I mean,
the erosion of truth in our society and the acceptance that truth is malleable and subject to, debate at a certain level is the most dangerous thing to come out of the Trump presidency, absolutely.
Alternative facts, basically, yeah.
Yeah, alternative facts, right.
But what's crazy...
all these new terms we have now.
They're great.
Alternative facts.
They're absolute comedy gold, but I mean, when it comes down to it, it's just disturbing. It's like, all you people out there, some of you listening right now, you should just be ashamed. All the time. Every day.
I want to know how certain people can still defend his character. We had a discussion about this the other day, you and I. How certain people of a certain character feel justified in their behavior with a powerful person who represents their behavior in the White House, leading the country.
Oh yeah.
It's a projection of your personality. It's a justification of bad behavior. It really is.
And you don't reward bad behavior, but America rewarded someone with bad behavior.
America rewards bad behavior, apparently, with the highest office in the land.
Well, I mean, they've done it before. I mean, you've got a lot of people that are, like, in high-up places that do really crappy stuff.
And definitely do.
Which is, like, to me, it's like the football player that got arrested for, like, bringing weed on an airplane. It's like, why would you do that? Why? I mean, you're like... how much money do you make a year? Millions and millions and millions of dollars for pushing the other person and making ball go far. And then you've got, me. I'd like 5 minutes of whoever's salary. That'd be great. I'd be like so thankful for that. This guy's like, hey man, don't forget my bag of weed, dude. Come on now. And it's like I'm sure if you really want some, you can get some wherever you're going. Your entourage will make that happen for you. But it's
it's like, how much do you need to get paid to not mess up?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Another prime example.
What's the actual incentive for you?
Another prime example. Anthony Weiner. Dude, what's your problem?
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Weiner was actually, I might be controversial when I say this, but I remember more of him than just the controversy. Weiner was actually a good politician in my estimation. I've seen town hall meetings with him when he was, I think he was like about to run for president or something, and
well, this guy screwed up, and then he screwed up. He got
really
caught once, and then he
liked
did it again.
His attitude. Yeah, no, that's horrible. So there's a whole documentary about that. I forget what it's called. It might just be called Wiener, but it really goes into it, and also the trial that his wife, Huma Abedin, was put through because of this. Now, she was Hillary Clinton's aide. That has absolutely nothing to do with my position on this. But she was just a wife. I mean, she was a beautiful, intelligent, successful woman getting publicly shamed by her husband. And then she forgave him. So they're making this documentary when he's trying to put it back together. And the cameras are on her, on both of them.
Right.
When it comes out on the news that he's done it again, and she just looks at him and she just shakes her head. I feel so bad for that lady, man.
Hey, don't touch anything. Go. Thank you. Sorry about that.
But Wiener, it's too bad, man. His vices or his downfall. It's the old story.
Oh, hold on. I think we may have another special guest calling. Let me look here. I believe we may. Let's find out. Merge with call. Hello? Hello? I guess we lost him. I was hoping it was going to be one of those telemarketers.
Oh.
That would have been a nice little addition to the show.
Sure.
Free content.
But yeah, Wiener was actually a good politician. I saw this one town hall meeting that he did, and this guy was just shouting him down while he was trying to respond to this person's question. He said, "Sir, I don't mind if you oppose my platform, my views, but do not deny this person the right to make up their own mind.
Yeah.
Let her hear what I have to say."
Go sit down, or you're getting a timeout.
Statesmanlike.
No, sit down. It's time to calm down and not be silly. Because we're anything but silly on Walking and Talking with the Ramen Raider. Hush. Yeah. So what do you think about the COVID?
About the what's that?
The COVID.
Oh, what do I think about it? Not a fan altogether. It's my initial opinion. Yeah. Not a fan.
Would you
Broke
eat?
The world.
Okay. How much would you charge to eat a cheeseburger that was licked all over by somebody who was COVID positive? We'll start the bidding at $1.
Let's just start with the fact that I'm a vegetarian, and so that would have to be a little bit extra money.
$10.
Okay, now you're starting to get my attention.
$20. $100.
Catch me on a bad day, and you
$100.
I'll just say yes to that right now.
No, really? Really? No, I'm serious.
Do I have to eat the whole hamburger?
Yeah. And the spots that have the spots with the phlegm as well.
How would you get the COVID-infected hamburger out of the quarantine ward?
You would have the COVID person would bring it to you.
Or just look for some of Donald Trump's leftovers.
Now, there's a question. So, I did this one with Stumpy from Arkansas the other day. How much would you charge to literally eat a chunk of Donald Trump's stool? We'll start the bidding at $100,000. Would you do it for $100,000?
Easily, no question.
How about for $50,000?
How big? How big chunk?
Let's say like a Snickers bar.
No, not for $50,000. I could make $50,000 in a year, and I think it would take longer than a year.
How about
$52,000? Yeah, technically you got me. I said, more than. That's more than.
How about $5,000?
I wouldn't eat a chunk of my own stool for $5,000.
Okay, how would you eat a chunk of your own stool for $10,000?
What's that?
Would you eat a chunk of your own stool for $10,000?
Yeah, but not Snicker bar size. No. Like individual Halloween treat sized Snicker. Maybe.
No, I'm talking fun size. Fun size.
Yeah, it's a fun size. That's the word. That's pretty something.
Let's see.
Size chunk of my stool.
What else do we got? What do you think about? God, there's got to be something. These are kind of like, these are the only things we talk about, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of like the important crap that we muse about constantly. So why don't you tell our people about the so-called Bombay Mule?
What I'm sipping on currently is a lovely gin concoction. It's made with Bombay Sapphire gin, squeezed lime slices, ginger beer, and topped off with dashes of citrus bitters. Kyle Rittenhouse was released from custody on $2 million cash bond.
Who's that? Oh, wait.
Kyle Rittenhouse, yeah, he's the white kid who shot up, or he was involved in a shooting in the protests. Remember
The guy
that?
who showed up to a protest with like a AK-47 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
That there were
I
people
mean,
like, free Kyle Rittenhouse. That guy. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And he was let go?
He free on $2 million bond. Kenosha County Sheriff's Department. Yep. $2 million cash bond. Kenosha County Jail, released in Illinois. Yeah.
Wow.
Or Wisconsin. He was just released from Wisconsin. That's interesting. He's out. So we have all, which isn't just, this 2020 isn't just about the plague and the election. Next year, you know what we got coming up? We got the trials of all these police officers who are accused of murder.
That's
coming
true.
up. We got Derek Chauvin. We got the guys from the freaking Wendy's parking lot. We got the Ahmed Arbery ones. We got all of these guys coming up, you know. We got the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell coming up this summer. It's going to be an entertaining next year, dude. We are going to be glued to our televisions again, watching people get put under the hot lights, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, the big issue right now has to do with healthcare and it has to do with COVID. I don't think people. I mean,
of course.
First off, it's like I was listening to right now they just had, what was it, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and some what's his name, Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi doing some kind of big powwow, and some journalists started asking questions, and the whole thing, he was like yelling at them. So are you going to recommend that schools be reopened? Are you going to make an executive order that all the schools everywhere are reopened? It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
You don't have any other questions? Like, you know, I mean, just like this, the thing that drives me nuts and pisses me off to no fucking end is the whole concept of COVID, what do they call it? COVID fatigue. COVID fatigue.
Sure. COVID
It's
fatigue.
like,
Yep, absolutely.
people were already screwing up with that shit, and now it's like there's this great term. Well, you know, I've got the COVID fatigue, and I really needed to do, what do they call it? Self-care.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I feel really lucky that I didn't get caught practicing self-care by my mom when I was in like a teenager, you know. But
Self-care for my COVID fatigue.
yeah, I need some self-care. I just need to go to Applebee's and get an app platter, you know. I need to go to Applebee's, and I can't go to Applebee's, and it it's really tough, you know. But I have the COVID fatigue, so I'm just gonna go there anyways.
Yeah, right. Self-care could be anything down to just smoking medical marijuana and watching marijuana and watching Netflix. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, Netflix and chill. I mean, it's like
yeah, that's
people
cure.
find a way to bitch about everything. I mean, look at this. You know, it's just like, here is a bunch of free money from the government. Hopefully that'll tide you over. By the way, we're also giving you lots of extras, like $600 extra a week on unemployment. That was amazing.
Yeah,
but people complain.
I didn't get any of that.
No. Well, yeah, they let you work until like that was like a day
they
before.
Every last little drop out of me, and then they're like, "Thanks."
And then the place you were working for, what do they do? What was the whole story with that? You worked at a fancy place.
Financial malfeasance. So, quickly, in some brief summation, Fort Worden is a decommissioned Army base that's now used as a venue. They have a lot of hotel rooms. All the old barracks are like hotel rooms. All the old officers' houses are like hotel rooms. Fancy place. They were building glamping up there for high-end camping.
Ooh.
They have music venues. They have a lot of restaurants. So they got hit hard by COVID. They had to shut down. Laid off hundreds of people. And I was one of the few stayed on. And then So they had loans out for the glamping sites, which was $2 million.
Wow.
And then they had another like couple million or something like that for this thing called Maker Square, which is an artist's workspace, just a community artist workspace where people can go there and make all kinds of things. It's real cool. And so they ran out of money because they were shut down and couldn't have any guests, right, because of the quarantine. So to even keep the place running, they were scooching money around where it didn't belong. Like, they were taking money from the loans for the glamping and using it to pay, like my wages, right? And keep the electricity on, pay the power bill. And you're not supposed to do that. They have no plan to pay it back. But I understand what they were doing. They were just, playing three-card Monte with the finances to keep the place running. But now that they need a whole new round of loans to stay in business, that public perception of the deception and basically literally criminal activity might affect their chances of getting the new loans severely detrimentally. So.
Yeah. And
so we'll see what happens with that.
The end result is you just got screwed.
Yeah, well, that was the place I was looking forward to going back to work to, but now I'm looking further around. So, and they just had a headline in the newspaper about it, so it's pretty bad.
Wow.
Well, it got hit hard. Everything got hit hard, man. COVID is breaking things. It's destroying people's businesses, their careers, their personal lives.
I can't go to Canada. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I can't go to Canada.
Bad.
I mean,
you haven't been to Canada in a while, have you?
The last time I went to Canada, I think, was March. Yeah. You can't go to Canada.
Nope.
Maybe if you're a Canadian, and then you don't want to come back. All right. If I wanted to go to Canada, I think I'd have to. They just don't even do it. What'd you say, Mimi? Yeah, Canada is closed. That's what. She likes Canada because they have the Hello Kitty store at the Lansdowne Center Mall.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. On number 6 Road in beautiful downtown Richmond, BC. Go and visit. Visit for a day and stay for a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wonderful, wonderful, horrible, awful place. But yeah. Well, I think we're about at the end of our time. But now is the part of the show where Mimi will interview you. So it's time for you to ask Uncle Matt some questions. Ask him a question. Ask him if he likes Hello Kitty. Mimi, come here.
You like Hello Kitty?
Yes, I do very much. Hi, Mimi. I would like to answer that question in 2 parts. Yes, I like Hello Kitty very much. Thank you.
Ask him another question.
I got my toy teapot. See?
He can't see. But the people in TV land will be able to see after the fact.
It's my teapot, see?
Do you want to ask him a question about your toy?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to ask him?
Like this. You pour the tea like this.
I didn't hear that. What was that?
You pour the tea like this.
Oh, okay. Impromptu tea drinking lessons. That's quite useful. We really do offer everything on this show.
I really do. It's a special. It's kind of like glamping.
Right?
More, please.
Yeah.
More, please.
It is kind of like glamping, as you mentioned.
Please.
It's exactly like nothing, but like everything.
And also, we got these Christmas teddy bears. That's a Christmas hat. What is it? What is it?
It's watching you.
Is it a teddy bear?
That's your question.
It is a teddy bear. It's a teddy bear in the kitchen. It's a teddy bear in the kitchen.
Matthew, how would you respond to that?
Yeah, could you translate? There was a little garble.
It's a teddy bear in the kitchen, Matthew.
Oh, okay, yeah, I agree.
And it got some switches in it. And it got a little switch in it. It can go on and off.
Yep, absolutely. It's a fine point, Mimi, and I try to expound upon it.
And it's got a button on it.
That's cool.
To
Very cool.
Get a kiss on the wall. Just like
Mimi, I have a question for you. Mimi. Are you putting the caps on your pens like a good girl?
The dog timer.
Okay.
Well, Matt just wanted to know if you're putting the caps on the pens, Mimi. Have you been doing that? Well, she's lying. So, well, I want to thank you very much for joining the program.
Sure. Thank you for having
Hans
me
the Ramen Raider, wishing you enjoyment of your noodles each and every day. And Matthew, your fine career sounds like it's going swimmingly. And my daughter is a very loud little individual.
Yeah, check out my work on MatthewBellah.com, the Fictionalia podcast available on all podcast platforms, and the ebook Fictionalia available on Amazon.com.
All right. Well, hey, always wipe, stay off the pipe, and watch out for that COVID, and I'll talk to you soon. This has been Hans the Ramen Raider, wishing you enjoyment of everything, every day, especially my rich, resilient boys. Have a good one, and bye-bye.